Hey guys, today I want to go over my favorite ETF for passive income, and that is Hamilton Enhanced US Covered Call ETF. The ticker is HYLD and is currently sitting at 13.74%. As we see, delivering you more US income every single month. So this is a ETF that invests primarily in the US, and yeah, it's got some strong holdings. That's why it's my favorite, and high dividend yield. So we see highlights 13.74. That's amazing. You're not going to see that around a lot. Portfolio of US equity covered call ETFs with the sector mix broadly similar to the S&P 500. So this is to the objective is to track the S&P 500, and yeah, it's available for purchase in CAD. So you got CAD hedged versions, HYLD, that's what I like. There also is USD unhedged, which is HYLD.U. And yeah, so we see it's a good fit for investors who want attractive monthly income, diversified blue chip US equity exposure, a higher yielding alternative to the S&P 500 with similar volatility, and it's got enhanced growth because of that modest 25% cash leverage. So this is beautiful, guys. We don't want to see a lot of leverage, but 25%, that's pretty nice. And yeah, so the objective here to appreciate and to kind of replicate the S&P 500. And yeah, we see HYLD, great stuff here. And so S&P 500, it's at 1.63% yield. HYLD 13.74. So yeah, that's a huge gap. So this is better for investors who like that monthly cash flow income. You see there's realized gains and you don't have to worry about when to sell as you do with like typical growth style investing. I'm not against growth style investing, it's just not for me. I don't want to have to worry about when I have to sell, when to buy. I start to hold and collect dividends along the way. I find it more a relaxing style of an investment. And yeah, so sector allocation, we got great sectors here. So we are greatly diversified. So technology making up most, and then healthcare, consumer discretionary, materials, and yeah, overall you get a little bit of everything, which is great. It is a little bit heavy in tech, but that's to be expected as the S&P 500 is. And yeah, we got the holdings. So these holdings are great because we see the great trifecta: QYLD, RYLD, XYLD. These are massive companies, massive ETFs in the US. QYLD is the Global X NASDAQ 100, and then RYLD, Global X Russell 2000, so 2,000 different companies. And then XYLD, which is a Global X S&P 5 covered call ETF. So these are all covered call ETF style investing, massive ETFs in the US. Let's get JEPI. JEPI is also another big one, equity premium income ETF. JEPQ, JP Morgan, NASDAQ equity premium income, so more tech. And then yeah, GLCC, so we got some gold in here as well, which is great. I'm not a big fan of gold, but getting some exposure in here, that's not a bad idea. HHL for some harvest healthcare, great stuff, great defensive sectors here. NXF, we get a little splash of energy. Energy is always great, so a little splash, great stuff. And yeah, as you see, the inception date, January 4th. So it has been a little over a year now. I'm recording this on February 6th. So happy 1 year to HYLD. And we see assets under management. This is a lot for 1 year. This is quickly growing, and I expect it to even grow even more, as because HYLD has quickly become one of the favorites among dividend investing styles. Management fee 0.65. I think that's worth it. You're getting great exposure, and this management fee is already taken into account, so you're not getting minus 6.5% off of the 13. So this annualized yield already takes into account that management fee. And yeah, risk rating a medium. And yeah, we see the auditors, and then let's go over to the fact sheet. Here's the fact sheet. As we see, it closely replicates the S&P 500. This is what we'd like to see, because S&P 500 is known as the benchmark of investing, so we are closely replicating it. A little bit lower right now, but yeah, it's to be expected as we're in a downtrend. I do have to bring up, this is taken from December 30th, so it's not completely up to date, but it goes towards all of last year. So yeah, it closely replicates as we are in a downturn market. It is a little bit lower. The red is HYLD, and then the gray is the S&P 500. So yeah, you see 14.25. It's not at that right now, but as I said earlier, this is from December 30th. So yeah, overall same stuff as the website. Mainly I wanted to show this as we closely replicated it all throughout last year. And so we'll go into the holdings now. Let's start off with the trifecta, my favorite trifecta, QYLD. So QYLD, this is a huge company, Global X is a huge asset management company in the US, and one of their most well-recognized products is QYLD. QYLD is NASDAQ 100 covered call ETF. So as we see in the net assets, 6.78 billion, so that is massive. Dividend investing styles, love QYLD because of this crazy high dividend. As we see 13.06, HYLD is a little bit higher, but 13% is also massive. And yeah, this is set to replicate NASDAQ 100 on covered call ETFs. And yeah, this is great stuff here. We get some great US companies such as Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, Alphabet, which is Google. You got Tesla, Meta, which is now formerly known as Facebook. And yeah, Pepsi, you get great companies. This is the NASDAQ 100 covered call ETFs. And yeah, so this next one is also from Global X. This is also contained in HYLD. It is RYLD. So RYLD is Russell 2000 covered call ETF. So basically you get 2,000 different companies in here. So this is a massive ETF. You get a little splash of a lot of different companies. And as we see in the net assets, 1.42 billion. So yeah, this is another massive one. Not quite as big as QYLD, but it's still very big in the US. And yeah, this is great for us Canadians too, because we get to invest in these US ETFs without having to go through conversion fees. And yeah, that's great. We don't have to worry about withholding taxes as HYLD is on the Toronto Stock Exchange. So yeah, as I said earlier, this is 2,000 different companies. The main one, so we got Vanguard up here, which is Vanguard's Russell 2000. So they got some Vanguard exposure, and they also have the Russell 2000, and then they write their own cover calls on them. Yeah, we got lots of companies in here. So next one, another RYLD is XYLD. So this is also from Global X, and it's the S&P 500 covered call ETF. So this one is the S&P 500 on covered calls. So let's go to that net assets. This is also another huge one, 2.29 billion. Not as big as QYLD, but this is still very big, and it is the S&P 500, which is known as the benchmark of investing. So currently it's at 13.10%, so that's a lot. And HYLD, very close, 13.74, a little bit more. And yeah, so all these companies are paid out on a monthly basis. And yeah, this is just good stuff that we see. S&P 500, can't go wrong with that. We got Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google. A lot very similar to the NASDAQ, but we also see some other stuff like Berkshire. There's ExxonMobil Corp. And yeah, a lot of different stuff in here as well, like Starbucks, McDonald's, Visa, Home Depot. And yeah, this is also another great ETF to be holding, which is included in HYLD. And yeah, so here's next one, JP Morgan. JP Morgan is also another great one. It's a great provider. JP, so another huge one. So JP Morgan Equity Premium Income ETF. What are the fact sheets? And yeah, we see great performance here. This is another one that US style investing love. So JP Equity Premium Income ETF, another great one. As you see, commercials, consumer discretionary, consumer staples, energy, financials, greatly diversified as well. And then we see top holdings, AbbVie, Exxon Corp, United Health, Coca-Cola, Hershey, Pepsi, and yeah, another big one with common brand names. And yeah, we'll go on to another one. So this is JEPQ, JP Morgan Nasdaq So this is just more NASDAQ exposure, but from a different fund manager. So it's always cool to get different fund managers involved in your ETF because it just gives more diversification. So yeah, it's more NASDAQ premium income ETF. So same as the NASDAQ that we saw earlier, just from a different fund manager. I'm sure they slightly alter different percentages, but that is JEPQ. And then this one, GLCC. So this is gold producer equity covered call ETFs. So it invests into gold producing companies and then write covered calls on those. So this is always great. I'm not a huge fan of gold, but it does make up only 11.7. So I'd say only because I don't invest into gold outside of this. I only get gold in the all-in-one style investing ETFs. So I don't mind the gold too much. It's gold producing companies. And yeah, so it's typically a great defensive sector, as we see. Great. It's designed to be a defensive sector, at least 9.81%. Great stuff. We get a lot of gold producing companies, mainly from Canada, South Africa, US, United Kingdom. A lot of different gold producing companies. I don't know too much about gold companies like this, but I don't mind having a little splash. That's always great. Next one is HHL. Harvest Healthcare Leaders Income ETF, HHL. Harvest is also another one of my favorite ETF providers. They do a great job as well. So Harvest, this is all just healthcare companies. CAD, monthly basis, 8.62%. And let's go over to portfolio. So we're just going to be getting a bunch of healthcare on this one. So healthcare is great because it's a great defensive sector. And we see pharmaceutical, healthcare, biotech, more healthcare, life sciences, and some cash on hand. Mainly in the US and some other foreign countries, but primarily just US. Companies, we got AbbVie, things like Pfizer, like Thermo Fisher, Medtronic, Elevance. A lot of big health companies in here. And yeah, this is the last one. This one only makes up 2.2%. NXF, so CI Energy Giants Covered Call ETF. So I've never owned this one outside of this ETF, but we're just getting some energy giants. So that's always great. We see non-Canadian equity exposure to companies in the energy sector and want the potential for higher income. So this one is a little bit more risky if I had to say so myself, but it is only 2.2%, so it's not huge. So I wouldn't worry about this holding too much. It's a little bit of risk, but that's fine. HYLD is amazingly diversified. And yeah, only 2.2%. And yeah, that's why HYLD is one of my favorites. We see great ETFs on this all-in-one style. And then if you even go down to the distributions, since inception, it has actually increased the dividend. So it started at 13.75 cents. Now it is 14 cents. So maybe we see that more in the future. I can't tell, but I would love to see it. And yeah, HYLD, currently my favorite ETF for dividend style investing. And yeah, with that, guys, take care. Make sure to like and subscribe the video for more future content. Let me know in the comment section any other videos you would like to see. I'll make sure to read and like everything. And yeah, with that, guys, take care.